So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope my sound's good. As we know, they've made another arrest in the Crystal Rogers case today. They have arrested Brooks Hope, and they just did a little clip on the news, so we'll go ahead and watch that.
Brooks, where is Crystal? And with news of his arrest, family is hoping that tonight they are one step closer to getting that answer. The years were long and the frustrations many, but Sherry Ballard was relentless in her pursuit of justice for her daughter, Crystal Rogers. In one of our more recent interviews, she spoke about being patient.
I don't want to, but if I have to, that's what I will do to get justice for my family.
On Wednesday morning, the call came Brooks Houck, Rogers' boyfriend at the time of her disappearance, had been arrested in Bardstown and charged with murder. Ballard and the family released a statement praising the work of investigators and saying, quote, "This is another step forward for justice for Crystal. Continue to pray justice is served and we bring Crystal home." A grand jury indicted Houck last week. According to court documents, the date of the murder is sometime between July 3rd and 4th of 2015, which is what the family always believed. They, along with law enforcement, conducted searches across Nelson County over the years. 3 years after a search at Houck's home, neighbors there wondered if an arrest would ever come.
I wonder why it's taking so long, but I just am happy that there's justice for that family.
And that fight for justice seemingly began earlier this month when Joseph Lawson was taken into custody on conspiracy to commit murder and tampering charges. His father worked for Houck. Records show Steve Lawson called Houck the night Rogers disappeared. The FBI said Wednesday they are determined to hold those responsible for Rogers' death accountable and called Houck's arrest a significant step in making good on that promise. And while the family of Crystal Rogers tells me they need some time to process today's events, they wanted me to pass along this. They say they're extremely grateful for the community's support and the continued efforts of investigators. Reporting in Nelson County tonight, I'm Lauren Adams, WLKY News.
Okay, well, so yeah, they've made an arrest. Right now I'm trying to pull up the timeline so that we can kind of recap.
We get a lot of pictures of apparitions in this room. Usually female, not always, but usually female. And then right out on the the solarium,
Lady
sorry,
Spitfire, I hope you guys
on
are
the
doing well.
solarium, we see doctors, we see nurses. We've seen them walk back and forth, looking out the window, walk back to the room.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not that great with StreamYard. I'm a little rusty. So we seen him there. I'm trying to pull up the timeline. Do you guys think that Nick's going to be arrested now? Because I'm wondering. We know he's a little bit smarter than Brooks. Give me just a second here. So it said that on there that she had passed or been murdered on the 3rd or the 4th. So that means on the 4th, when he was seen alone with Eli, she was already gone, which makes sense because they said that she would never leave him with her child alone. And then I also seen where her mother is put in an emergency custody order for Eli, so that's always good. Let's see. I think this is what I'm looking for, maybe. I know WHAS had one on their side, and then the Sun has a pretty good one as well. I'm going to try to pull it up. I think it was a little more detailed. Okay. I'll go ahead and share this one. I think it's going to be okay. Today's been exciting, guys. I'm telling you, my heart can barely take it anymore. Excitement. They found Suzanne Morphew. I mean, what's happening? All the stars are aligning for us. Let's see here. Sorry. Maybe. Maybe. Mm, Finally. Okay, so just a recap on Crystal. Said that she's been missing since the evening of July 3rd of 2015. Fortunately, I'd say that's the day when he murdered her. And then, of course, we know that her car was discovered on Bluegrass Parkway around mile marker 14. Not too terribly far from the Bardstown exit, really. Um, the FBI said that she had like a flat tire. I think her dad said the keys were still in it. There was some stuff inside and some of her personal belongings on the ground. I think the original plan kind of looked like Houck was trying to make it look like she was pulled over for a flat tire and been abducted. I think that's the kind of going thing on all that there. Hang on just a sec. So this is Lawson's indictment, but it has a lot of good information in it. So just to look back, knowing what we know now, we can look back and see what Lawson was charged with. And it looks like he was charged with um, committed the offense of criminal conspiracy to commit murder with the intention of promoting or facilitating the crime when he agreed to aid one or more persons in the planning or commission of the crime or an attempt or solicitation to commit the crime when he and or a co-conspirator intentionally caused the death of another. So just like it said in Brooks' indictment, looks like somewhere around the third or the fourth, which I'd say since nobody's seen her since the third, it was the third that Brooks murdered her and Lawson helped him. I would assume that he helped hide the body with Nick and others. That's what I'm wondering, Lady Spitfire. Did Lawson talk? Because I know the FBI said in their search, I think it's down on this timeline here. So, yeah, that's a good point. Lawson's not been charged with her murder, so it's possible that he talked because if he's not talking, they probably slap more charges on him. Just trying to find through here what I was reading earlier. Back in October of 22, I believe is when it was. Is that when the FBI started tearing up the driveways? Hmm. Yeah, I think that was even after that. So it's not in this timeline. But when the FBI was tearing up the driveways, on the search warrant maybe or some of the documents that came out, items were found of interest. So I'm wondering because they said at that time they knew what happened. They were just gathering the evidence to, prove that. So I don't know, but I assume that Lawson's confession is what they needed because I don't think there's any coincidences in true crime. And he was just arrested not so long ago, so makes sense. I'm just wondering if Nick's name's been brought up, and if so, if now they're gonna try to, you know, get Brooks to turn on him, which I'm sure he will because we all know Brooks is the coward out of those two. He's gonna fold like a lawn chair. Okay, so it does look like Lawson's indictment is sealed. Brooks was unsealed. I seen Shay McAllister talking about it on WHAS maybe. Let me see if I can't pull that up because that's a good one. Yeah, so see, last October, the FBI examined the form of Brooks' mother. So they stated that evidence that they gathered during that search, they did not describe what it was, but they said in a statement that all that material was being evaluated at its Quantico facility and that they did have evidence that was gathered. So hopefully whatever Lawson's told them and what they found there is enough to keep it from being just circumstantial. Hopefully it's enough to get him. Because I mean, yeah, Brooks is an idiot, but Nick is pretty smart. It's a good thing that I think he's not law enforcement. I mean, yeah, he's not law enforcement anymore, so that's always a good thing. That takes a little bit of his pull away, but the man's still pretty smart. I'll give him that. But I'm hoping whatever they have gets them because they are pretty slick. They've been pretty slick throughout this all. Interesting, Lady Spitfire. I I have looked a little bit into the Ballard murder, Ellis, all the Bardstown Three, the Netherlands. I've looked into all those. I do think that Ellis, Ballard, and Rogers is all connected. Um, I just don't know enough to decide who's who, except I do really believe that Houck killed Bruce. You would think so because did you guys watch the interrogations from back in the day? I think they did it on July the 8th was the first time that they called Brooks in for questioning. So, do you guys remember? I think it was during that interrogation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe during that interrogation is when he got a phone call from Nick, and he's like, "What are you doing?" or something along those lines, and the detective could hear that. So I remember seeing reports of that. Mm. Okay, well, you're Kentucky girl, Lady Spitfire. Same here. Same here. I'm a little bit further from Bardstown than that, though. I'm a couple hours southeast, so I am looking forward. Do you guys know if this is something that we're gonna have to put a request in to be able to attend the court hearings and things? I don't think I'll make it to the arraignment, but I would definitely like to see the trial. Do you think that's something that they make you put in a request for? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely look into that. Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. Let me pull up Shay McAllister here. I think she done a good recap of the indictment earlier. Let's see, I think it's this one. I apologize, guys. I should have had these tabs up, but life gets a hold of us over here. We've got that toddler and a teenager, and everybody has to be fed, and then dishes have to be done. You guys know. You know the life. I don't know if this is the video where she reads out of the indictment or not. This is definitely one that I would like to watch again. I just like watching and be took in. Why is that thing? Well, that's odd. Just a second, guys. Now it's not playing. Story of my life. Here we go. Wow. Guys, I apologize. I am not sure exactly why that won't. Well, I really don't understand. Well. That would probably be a good thing to add it to stage. I apologize, guys. This is like the best thing I've seen in a long time. That I'm taking. I wonder if he knows at that moment that he's gonna walk back out and not have his civilian clothes on. Because he does walk back out. He just looks a little different when he does. Look at that. Look at his new outfit. Yeah, I can imagine how happy her family is right now. Okay, so now that they have Brooks, we can only assume and hope that Nick will be brought in on charges. I know some of you have stated in the past, and Lady Spitfire stated tonight that she thinks that Nick murdered Crystal's dad because he was getting too close to what happened to Crystal. And yeah, that's the going thing across the board, I believe, from what I've seen. Um, I haven't looked into Tim's case enough to know exactly what happened. But that's something that I do plan on doing a deep dive on. Um, I know I seen where Officer Ellis's family had made a statement, I do believe. Let me go see if I can pull that up really quick. Had you all seen that? They tagged it here on the end of one of these articles today. See, I remember hearing about Crystal's car being found on the parkway, because that was pretty shocking, and I remember, being worried. But I really didn't get into true crime real deep until around 2019 when COVID hit. So I've not been on it since day one. There's so much information, though, I don't know how anybody could keep it all straight. It's like I learn something new every time I look into this case. Every time there's an update and I look into something, it's more details, come out. Well. I know they made a statement. I'm just bad about saving things. I screenshot everything. That just doesn't mean that it's readily available, I guess. Huh. Okay, here it is. So the Ellis family made a statement on his arrest and said that today represents a significant milestone in the lives of so many. It's hard to express the many emotions our family is feeling. We have prayed fervently for 8 years that this day would come for Sherry Ballard. The strength, bravery, and fidelity Sherry has exhibited these past 8 years has continually renewed our family's resolve. Today we rejoice with Sherry and Crystal's family and friends. The announcement of today's arrest is one we have all hoped and prayed for. It has been 10 disconcerting years since Jason's murder. Moving forward with no answers or justice has been disheartening. We applaud the FBI, law enforcement, and prosecutors for countless hours and unrelenting dedication to these cases in Bardstown and Nelson County. Today we celebrate that justice is being served for Crystal and are optimistic that answers are around the corner for Jason. So they sound very hopeful, and that's always good. I'm hopeful as well for them. I'm hopeful this will tie up a lot of, those crimes around there. I'm just not surprised on what I hear next. I would give anything just to know what he's thinking at that moment. I can't watch it enough, guys. Um, so that's the update that we got today on Crystal. I won't keep you guys very long. I don't have a whole lot ready to go like I thought I would. There's a lot more to the Jason Ellis than I thought there was. Or maybe lack of information, should I say. There's a lot more digging to do to get that one figured out. Lady Spitfire, if that's one that you're really familiar with, if you would like to leave a comment with your email or something of that nature, get with me, fill us in on that one. I would greatly appreciate it. Brittany, I know Bardstown 3 is your thing too, so anyone who would like to give me the rundown on Jason Ellis, it would be greatly appreciated. So do we think on October 5th, when he's arraigned, that we will get documents unsealed? Maybe we can see what happened, if Wilson ratted him out or what happened? Because I always assume that we'll see stuff like that, but it seems like they want to seal more and more of these documents in these cases here. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. I know there's a couple channels getting ready to do Susan Morphew streams. Lauren, last name starts with an S. I can never pronounce it. I've only read it before, never heard it. But she has a channel. It's shared in my community tab, but she is getting ready to go live. She's You're probably right. Yeah, Nick's the brains behind it, definitely. Because like I said, we all know Houck's an idiot. Or Brooks is an idiot, so yeah, Nick has to be behind it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nick's the only one that connects all of them together, if that makes sense. Brooks had a reason to kill Crystal, and I really do believe that he's an idiot and that he's a coward. So I don't know that I could see him killing Dad on his own, or another man, Jason Ellis. I don't take Brooks as that kind of man. I take him as a coward. But anyways, guys, like I was saying, mm, Blue Illuminati, yeah, Blue Nation, Jerome. No, dude, sorry, I'm not trying to joke. You might be being serious. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. It's just, I don't, I don't think the Illuminati is anything to do with Brooks hoax. He has, yeah, he doesn't have the brain for it. Anyways, guys, like I said, there's getting ready to be a season more view stream. Lauren, last name starts with an S. I'll share it in my community tab. She is going to be going live. She will have a lot of firsthand information. Maybe we can find out where she was found at. I plan on going live either tomorrow evening or tomorrow night to start diving into Jason Ellis. And then at the end of that stream, I want to watch Brooks' first interrogation. That way we can get caught up on everything before more charges hopefully come out, more arrests hopefully are made, and before the trial. I'm surprised every day, Jerome. You're right. I may be surprised. We never know what's going on underneath our nose. I completely agree with you on that. But guys, have yourselves a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for watching.